While shopping at the supermarket, the man noticed everyone frantically grabbing items off the shelves. Confused, Jack quickly purchased some essentials and headed home. But as he turned to put away his groceries, the breaking news flashing across the television screen sent a chill down his spine. A new virus was ravaging the country, causing the infected to lose their minds and become extremely aggressive. Although the authorities claimed the virus was under control, a phone call from Jack's sister, who worked for the government, revealed the truth they had been covering up. She said the situation was far more serious than imagined, and the government had already built a shelter. She urged her brother to come meet her so they could seek refuge together. Realizing the gravity of the situation, Jack immediately booked a ticket to leave town. However, just as he was queuing to board the plane, the check-in system suddenly malfunctioned. The airport then canceled all incoming and outgoing flights. Everyone's phones buzzed with an emergency message. Due to the rapid spread of the virus, the country was under full lockdown, allowing no one to enter or leave. Sensing something was off, Jack asked his sister for advice. She told him to head home first and wait for the right moment, promising to send someone to pick him up. Left with no choice, Jack fled with the panicked crowd. But by the time he got back, the streets were completely jammed. The news had spread, and people were scrambling to escape. Seeing the huge crowds forced together, Jack had a bad feeling. He ditched his car by the roadside, grabbed his supplies, and made his way home on foot. Just as he arrived, more bad news came from his sister. The virus was spreading even faster than the government had anticipated. She warned Jack to avoid the authorities' searches at all costs and not to go to the so-called quarantine zones, as the virus could spread from person to person. She would come get him once the authorities had withdrawn. Realizing rescue might take some time, Jack immediately headed back to the supermarket to stock up on more supplies. But when he got there, he discovered the shelves had been stripped bare. Even the food scattered on the floor had already been eyed by others. Jack picked up a can, only for an old man to snatch it right out of his hands. In the end, all he could find were some crackers. He rushed home, sealed the doors and windows, and drew the curtains to block any view inside. By this time, the military had begun evacuating the crowds bit by bit. Soon, there was a commotion outside Jack's door. He quickly hid in the corner, not daring to make a sound. Luckily, unable to break down the door, the troops eventually left in frustration. Half a month flew by, but Jack still hadn't received any rescue from his sister. With no one maintaining the cell towers, he had also lost contact with her. Fortunately, every household had solar panels installed. Although the food hadn't spoiled, it was almost depleted. Left with no choice, Jack had to break into his neighbors' homes to try his luck. The good news was the military had evacuated all the residents, so there were no signs of any infected in the community for now. The bad news was Jack couldn't find a single edible item, only a dirt bike. Just as Jack was worrying about how to survive the coming days, a message on the radio reignited a glimmer of hope. The authorities had been searching for survivors who hadn't made it to the quarantine zones. They were urging people to wait at assembly points, the safe zones his sister had mentioned. Jack immediately set out for the coordinates broadcast on the radio. But when he arrived, he discovered the place had long since fallen. What was worse, the roar of the motorcycle engine had drawn the attention of a large number of infected.